I'm going to start with Twitter, because Twitter is like networking, or at least you can look at it this way. It's where you meet people completely fresh, total strangers if you like, with whom you have no pre-existing connection. So Twitter is a bit like a big networking event on the internet. And you end up meeting people because Twitter has various bits of functionality, as some of you will be well aware, that suggest you connect with certain people because of shared interests, or you're both connected with some third party. And after a while, once you've been using it for a while, Twitter and other things get really pretty good at that, and you end up meeting people, and sometimes it can be astonishing how good the match is. Really astonishing, to the point where some of the most important people in my working life are people that I've met on Twitter, because it's brought us together. So Twitter is like that initial conversation at a networking event, in my map of it anyway. And so you have this initial kind of chat, and then you tend to think, right, okay, I want to kind of make this a little more concrete, a little more permanent in some way. And what I would be doing at that point is saying, well, look, let's connect on LinkedIn, because then you are actually connected. Now, I'm saying LinkedIn because LinkedIn is more business, of course, but for some markets and some audiences it would be Facebook, as you well know, because Facebook is probably more consumer, it's more family, probably it's also more female than male, I think. Certainly in my experience of it is anyway, than LinkedIn, in comparison with LinkedIn. So, but the idea there is that Twitter is where you kind of meet, and then connecting on LinkedIn or Facebook is like exchanging business cards, is the way I kind of think of it. So you've said, right, okay, we mutually agree we're going to keep up a connection here, and that happens on LinkedIn or perhaps Facebook. And so at that point you're sort of deepening you make some kind of commitment to each other. And then I would be say, if it's somebody where I think, right, there's real possibilities here with this person, I'm thinking, right, okay, we actually want to speak to them. And I would typically be thinking, right, I would like to have a Skype call with this person, and by that I mean a video Skype call. And so that for me is like arranging to go for coffee. So when you have the Skype call, it's like you're meeting for an hour for coffee. Now bear in mind, this might well be somebody on the other side of the world with whom you just wouldn't otherwise be able to meet for coffee. But then you have that Skype call, and it is like a face-to-face meeting, and you explore what you might do together and so on. And that's kind of how I find it works for me. Now bear in mind, what I'm doing here is using the social media things in a way that's like kind of like real world, if you like, networking. And that's certainly how it works, and that's how I've arrived at the point where some of my key connections are people I've met online, and we now interact on Skype or by email and so on. So I'm suggesting to you that it's helpful to think of it like that. That's my kind of take on it anyway, that's a good way to look at it.